Neil, may we start with the pros of this new government of national unity?
Yeah, I think, Chris, amazing what's happened this week, the pomp and ceremony. And undoubtedly, I must say that I've recognized some idiots being sworn in. They just don't leave us. Um, and by looking at some of them, even in gumboots, a person would like to say, wow, we need to do a SWOT analysis. And the SWOT analysis on your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats is clear. So there are definitely now pros and cons to this government of national unity. The pro is that it's only obvious that when the DA and the rest of the entity that will form the GNO, specifically the IFP, it did create a bit of an upswing, may I call it a positive green tick to the world markets. I mean, this is business news. So the influence of the establishment of that word government of national unity has had an upswing on the market, a kind of stabilizer within the rand dollar situation for business. I saw a breath. I must tell you, it wasn't a sigh. It was a breath of, wow, okay, this is a bold step. The positive is that we've got people in this government of national unity, which I call the non-radical fascist and separatist groupings, which we spoke about here. They have totally been separated. So what you've got is a moderate, may I call it, leftist liberal entity that is now sitting and going, okay, let's get around this fire, let's dig in, and let's create one humongous good braai and entity. But like any braai, as we know, as it fades into the later of the night, things become a little bit unstable. This is no different. But the positive side right now is that we've got direction. There is a negative. And we have to spell that negativity out. This is very clear that the radical, I call them the radicals, the radical social nationalistic communistic dark cloud that lies within the EFF, MK, and cohorts are now totally separated, standing on the right hand and watching on the left hand and wanting to say, we are not going to accept this. So, Chris, the hope at this moment, listening to the talks, is that this government of national unity will address factionalism. In other words, that the followers of the ANC, predominantly coming from one segment, one facet, will have the IFP leader, Schlabisa, play a very critical role within the leadership of this government of national unity. Chris, I worked with this gentleman in the multi-party charter for a year. He's not a politician. Schlabisa is a statesman. There's a big difference. And if I had a vote, I would have voted Schlabisa, Honorable Schlabisa. And funny enough, in the multi-party charter, he was the only one of all the leaders that was addressed as honorable. They continued calling him honorable. This is something that is huge. So hopefully, he will play a vice president or a deputy vice president or a critical role because he is a stabilizer, but it will bring, can I call it, the separatist entities within the Zulu faction, the KwaZulu-Natal faction. I'm glad the IFP won there. And he will bring as a leader stabilization to that. And undoubtedly, now I'm going to say it, and now the lightning's going to strike. I have confidence in John Steenhuisen. Put everything aside. You know, we've got to sometimes go back and talk about person. Because our politics is very much framed on personality. Take DA away, take everything away. I have also had the privilege and pleasure to work with him. Directly, no lying. And I am saying that if it is Cyril, which we knew would come, but if we have a John Steenhuisen and we have a Schlabisa, I'm talking people here, not party. I've got a positive attitude. The negative is that you are going to get people within this GNU, you're going to have people in the ANC that are actually not on board. and that they're going to do everything that they can, be it in the legislature, be it in parliament, be it in politics or in public, to derail this government of national unity. And that is the pro and the con that we've got, and we cannot allow it, because a collapse, and we've got to talk about that now, is the worst thing that this republic can ever see in its future.